Well, I work with them really closely because, you know, as the chairman of the House Energy and Environmental Protection Committee, this is the part of the law that I focus on for the committee work. And so anything that deals with Chapter 343, I look at carefully. My experience so far is not very many people understand the issues. Not very many people understand the environmental law and the process, and the abuses that happened um, within the administration in trying to avoid the environmental review process for the Hawaii Superferry. The law is really clear on what needs to be done, and the administration did their best in trying to avoid the process, and they were found to be wrong by the courts. And this is why we have three branches of government for checks and balances on each branch of government. Well, what happened initially was that the Public Utilities Commission punted to the State Department of Transportation the responsibility of an environmental review. And they tried to tie it to the harbor improvements. And so you have the Department of Transportation, the Hawaii Superferry using its facilities, and the Department of Transportation's Harbor Division saying that, oh, any improvements that we make don't have an environmental impact. And they did it through the exemption process. The Hawaii Supreme Court found that decision to be wrong and said that the actions of the Hawaii Superferry using the harbor has secondary impacts. And therefore, that triggers, at the very least, an environmental assessment. The DOT has the ability to use exemptions, and the exemptions are very limited to basically repair and maintenance or replacement of existing structures. Those are where you can use an exemption. But in this case, they were building new facilities specific to the Hawaii Superferry operations.
No one else.
No one else. Yeah. Question comes up about Matson Young Brothers, the cruise ships. All of their operations are included in the harbor's master plan, and the harbor master plan has to go through an environmental review.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
The Superferry wasn't in that master plan?
No. This whole argument of how this whole scene is bad for business in Hawaii, well, I think it's really important that the businesses or people who propose to do business in Hawaii know the rules and follow by the rules, because what we want are lawful decisions, not political decisions. And so everybody has a fair playing field, that you don't have to rely on a political decision to get your business to operate. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of the proposals, but at this point, the Chapter 343, which is the environmental review process, is a mandatory process. There's no discretion about doing the environmental review while you're operating. The law is really clear that the environmental review has to be completed before the action, they call it action, is allowed to proceed.
Right.
Changing Chapter 343, that law has been on the books for over 30 years in Hawaii. And there might be some structural problems with the law itself, but nothing wrong with the substance of the law. It might need to be rewritten so it's a little clearer, but I don't believe there's anything wrong with the substance of the law.
And that's what that would be the...
This is, we're changing the law to accommodate one business. And you know, one business that failed to use good business sense and addressing the concerns of the community and in a lawful legal way. And you know, to me, this sends a bad precedence out to people who want to do business in Hawaii, that you can, you know, you can have your way if you know how to manipulate your way politically through the system.